Hello, in this video, I wanted to kind of extend onto the previous recording where I can interpret and formalize of what you can reach with yourself or what you can accomplish whenever you operate and work from an open heart space. And so hopefully by now you're able to reach and understand what it means to stay open within your heart, what it means to allow the heart energy to flow, not to be encumbered by any barriers or blocks or any um, fears that we would place upon ourselves in order to close our heart center, right? So once we open our heart area, once we allow ourselves to function from the energetic center of our being, right? The true creation of us that is love, I will be addressing the possibilities of your life once you have that center open, right? Or once you are allowing the energy to kind of freely move through your space and not block your own potential. In essence, any actions that are done outside of the heart space being open are simply they're not serving your highest good, right? Their energy, the actions that carry the energies of fear, of turmoil, of lack, of grief, of judgment. And so, through the mere nature of me saying those words out loud, right, you can feel your heart center completely close off and be blockaded off. And so, if you release, I will not repeat the words once again, but if we release the energies that I just mentioned, right, and then open our heart center to love, and a fearless excitement and action of functionality, in order to allow us to flow, right, allow us to heart center to be, to expand. When you stretch your arms out, right, you can imagine your energy just propagating out and expanding out. And imagine the circumference of that energy just fluctuating and toroiding itself all around you. Um, and so the possibility is kind of the icing on a cake, as the expression goes, of what you're able to accomplish when you simply stay open in your heart center. And I don't know how many things I'll be listing off here since I'm channeling, but one, um, you are able to extrapolate and deliver love into every single situation, uh, into every single interaction, into every single derived outcome that you would engage with at any point in your life, right? And so, the beauty and the potential of that is so vast and so important that I hope you can feel what it would be like to walk this path, walking in magic, right? It is equivalent to that. I'm getting the image of like the Jesus walking on water. To me, as a child, was the epitome of magic from the biblical standpoint. And so that magic, that unbelievable. Radiant joy that you would experience in witnessing such event, and much less, interpreting yourself as someone who's able to walk on water, would be the feeling that you would get in every aspect of your life, every aspect, if you simply operate from the heart center, your open heart center, unencumbered by you name it, right? You name it. I will not name it, but you name it, right? And so, releasing anything that is not of light, that is not of love, and fearless interpretation of yourself would allow you to function that heart space, and just produce amazing outcomes, both for yourself and then really everyone around you, and everyone surround you, right? So it's that unbelievable magnetic energy of joy that is infectious, and felt, right? Like the magic that you would function with would just be your everyday life. and everyday status quo. And so that is interpretation number one. I guess interpretation number two would be um, the outcomes of the greater good, right? And this is, uh, a very large topic is your actions in interpretation of yourself from your open heart space would reverberate and transcend itself through every time and space scenario, every interpretation of life that exists out there on the the endless scale of creation would be felt and reverberated towards that center of creation, felt there, and this is the kicker, is then sent back to you tenfold, right? I say tenfold, tenfold doesn't even do it justice. You will be able to feel the energy come out of your space, come out of your being, right? Interpret themselves however they would in the most magical way on this plane and in this form and in this three-dimensional body. But what's so beautiful is as they would propagate themselves past this scenario of me, right, past the scenario of time and space, but they would reach the greater whole, and then through resonance, right, would then be sent back into this form of now, right? One, reinforcing that natural connection that you as a being uh, have to the greater whole, right? Just the beauty of that alone is unspeakable. And then two, allowing yourself to feel yourself fuller and fuller each time as you receive this reverberation or this resonance back into you as a feedback from the source, right? And so the you, that heart center of you, will actually start to grow and expand exponentially once you make a choice, a cognitive choice to always be in that space, to always operate from that center, because that feedback loop is just gorgeous and it's ginormous and it's incomprehensible in size. And you as a being is able to hold the most magnificent amount of love and energy in order to be able to feel yourself be part of the whole, right? That is the really the design of you is just to extrapolate out the you that you want to receive back, and if that happens to be love and it happens to come from an open heart, then that vibration out will just send out a shockwave and then feed the universal message back of that into your being, right? And just like you can amplify any feeling and any emotion or any fear to exponential degree, right? Sometimes even to a point of debilitation. The feeling and reverberations of love are able to amplify themselves um, so much bigger, and I know I'm lacking words here, so much bigger and so much larger than any limiting thoughts of self or limiting thoughts of fear, or close heartedness. So your expanded being is able to function on the most sincere and lucrative level of recognition just by you making that choice every day over and over to live out of the open center of your heart. And so I'm trying to think if there's a third or if I'm finishing on the second. Um, so yeah, it doesn't look like there's a third. So those are the two. There's you and how you interpret yourself in that space, and then there's the resonance energy that will feed itself back into the loop of you, and so it's kind of interesting. I'm seeing this as a spiral of you coming out and functioning in this personal space center of love, right, and magic, and then the larger loop coming out and reaching the galactic way of being, um, that sends out the shock waves of ecstasy out, that is that is the energy of this love and this communication of wholehearted magnificence. And then as it comes back around, right, it actually uh, creates a new larger loop, right? And then the loop that you're able to feel out of your center into your three-dimensional space of this magic gets larger, and then that larger loop then feeds into the center as a whole on the larger wave scale, and then as it vibrates back into you, then creates your loop to be even larger. And so I'm seeing this cyclical nature of kind of these spirals, toroidal shapes just continue to grow and expand and expand and expand, and ultimately, just reach um, the most abundant form of operation and most significant ecstasy I can possibly explain. And I use word ecstasy because I don't have any other words for it. But the beauty of it is just endless. And so I hope you can feel it. And I hope that is the motivation for you to realize the power that you hold inside of you, just by simply allowing yourself to be, to feel, and to love, and fearlessly be out there to be yourself. And so I wish you the most abundant love and the most determined sense of perseverance in order to make this happen for yourself, because that's what it will take. So, thank you.